Video is definitely going to get a copyright strike. Sorry. I just realised that my mic was still going that whole time, and I was just quietly sitting while it was trying to do the thing. Hello, it's me. I just got out of the shower. I started to shower right late in the evening. God, my balding looks even worse when I've just had a shower. Jesus, wow. I'm gonna get another haircut. I'm gonna get my last haircut where it's just all gone. This is it. It's time. That was music from Plock, which someone recommended I use music from, and I've been listening to that one track over and over because it's really good. I like the bit about 25 seconds in, where it goes do 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 do. How's everyone going? How was Christmas for everyone? I hope it was good. I spent some of it streaming, and then I visited my cousins. For my gifts, I got this, a Simpsons pajamas, which I immediately tore the crotch of, so now I just have the shirt. The only resilient enough pajama bottoms I've ever got are these British flag ones. I got these sweets from Brussels called Vermeer and Speculoos. There's exactly one left, and I might celebrate at the end of the stream by eating one. But I did just brush my teeth. And I also got, cover your eyes, that. Which is a, I hope I look like Michael from Vsauce when I get my hair balded. But I think it's like a coin. This part of my head, it's like a coin sticking out, lodged in a coin slot. So it probably looks awful. But that is an anti-SADS light. I don't believe I have seasonal affective disorder. However, I assume based on how I tend to behave making videos, my family just kind of assumed I must have some kind of problem. So they got me this light that's supposed to cure SADS. It's actually a really nice light. It's super bright. It's just this panel that just blasts light at you, and it's quite nice. And it actually has made me feel more alert, probably because I have a corner of the room so there's not much light coming in, and if I'm blasting light nearby, it does wake me up more. But I think that's just general awakeness due to light levels and not some kind of magic vitamin L thing or whatever. But it's pretty good. So I just kind of decided to do an impromptu stream because I finally got everything. I finally finished making all of the edits I thought I needed to make based on notes I'd got from viewers. And I thought, I can add the credits in and just hit go and see if it's good, and then I can just upload it if so. And I thought, well, why not stream the process and pretend it's a bonus video. So there we go. This is my renders folder I've got. What else is here? This is the choose the mask thing I did, which by the way was incredibly poorly shot. It was overexposed to hell. Let me quickly open my pictures, find my pictures folder. They're good. This was what it looks like pre, and then that was my editing. Basically, I fucked up and overexposed. Like I said in the video, I didn't have any kind of thing going, so I had to just work on that. Oh, cool. This is in my pictures folder as well. I managed to save this. Excellent. There is footage of the Let's Play that was filmed using that setup somewhere, but I don't know where. What else is in my folder? Oh, this was an original image of all the Pocari Sweat I bought and then drank most of. There's 3 left. Anyway, I wonder if anyone's watching this. We'll pretend bonus. Yeah. Wait, basically, I thought I've got to watch this through and to check it's good before I do anything with it and make notes for final edits and stuff. And if so, I can make them here and then hit go again. And I think I'm going to speculate. That's not a word. I'm gonna set the video to. You can do premieres now, so we're going to set the premiere to blast off just before New Year's so people can watch it. Oh, New Year's is about to happen. Where? That's my impression of you, apparently. And, all the non-humans, all the people who don't matter because they're not my backers can see it then. So that's my plan, at least. Anyway, here's Flat Earthers' Measured Response, which I should probably... I don't know if you want me to live reacting to it, like with my thing on, or if it's better to have it off so then you can see all of it, but whatever. I mean, it's a video you've hopefully already seen at this point, but with a few minor edits. I'm just checking. Oh my god, 34 people are watching this. Wow. That's great. I paused it at a really awful place and my face looks awful. Actually, no, it just always looks like that now. Alright, let's hit go on this. I'm going to turn my desktop audio up a little bit. Let me know if it's loud or quiet or whatever. I have not watched this straight through as a rendered video before. I've only ever watched it as a in my editing program, so that's usually where I notice all the problems you don't notice before when it's in a small preview screen. The ending thing where it zooms in on my face is obviously a reference to the last Christmas related thing I did, where I went in and went, "Hi Swanee Shaw, welcome to the thing." Where it zoomed on my face, and at the end I even cut to the same thing. But I was going to use the same music as well, and then I listened to Eric's new album, and Kissing Ancaps had a fantastic last bit in it. I was like, I should make that the credits. So there's that. Just for reference, by the way, this version of the video, the back version, is 54 minutes. The Flat Earth finished version of the video is 44 minutes. I cut 10 minutes out today. Somehow. I don't even know how I did that. I think I might have accidentally deleted a bunch of it. I just cut off all the tangents. The general vibe I got from people describing how the video seemed was the opening half or third was a bit loose. So I've done a lot of edits to the first half. So I will walk you through the changes and make some notes if there's other stuff I want to change, and maybe we'll make the edits, maybe not. Who knows? We'll just go from there. So there we go. Let's just go. Why not? Ugh. My face is so red. Hello, it's me, that guy who does those videos. Very occasionally. Oh man, jeez. So some people said, oh, that music's very weird, that it's like 3 different music tracks in a few seconds, but I really, really liked F. Someone suppose. Oh no, the stream break? Oh yeah, I should mention I'm doing a Patreon stream, yeah. God, look at all that beautiful hair I had like 2 weeks ago when I shot that. Now it's gone. Like my baldness is accelerating at a very fast rate. I can't wait. Okay, and coming up with edits. Tweet and tweet. Sorry, that's a reference to Commenticate. Speaking of which, in a bonus video, I got him to record a line that I then cut out. So you should, I'll put that up soon. Let's get this going. Yeah, that music. Some people are like, that's really chaotic and weird, and it's bad. Like I asked people to criticize the music choices, not realizing that people would then criticize the intentionally jarring bits, like the flutes in this part. But thank you for noticing that those are jarring. But those were meant to be like that. Those were bad on purpose, like Zack Snyder. All right. Of balls. Did you know that as of maybe 200 years ago, everyone thought that the Earth was flat? Ah, that's actually a joke. I tricked you. It's a pop cultural myth. People have thought that the Earth was a sphere, more specifically an oblate spheroid, for hundreds, if not thousands of years. The tweet came out 30 seconds before you sent it on stream. That's amazing. Of course, yeah, YouTube's thing is weird, and I think it's receiving data from me at a weird rate, because you're supposed to set an encoder now when you stream to Twitch, not Switch to YouTube, and I just hit go, so who knows. If you accept Ptolemy's writing as evidence of that speculation. For at the very least hundreds of years now, it's been pretty much widely accepted that the Earth is a globe, which means that the modern flat Earth movements that exist aren't contiguous with any past movement. These people aren't regressives who want to go back to a certain set of beliefs. These people are progressives. They believe in science and reason and evidence. They want understanding of the Earth to move forwards, off of the edge of a cliff. It's funny how this section of the video is very cut down. Like there's a 2-minute tangent about Christopher Columbus that I had in there originally. There was another minute and a half long tangent about Japan, because he went to Japan. I've cut all of that out, and it makes more sense this way, but it still feels too long at this point. Anyway, I kind of like this opening, so I thought I'll just leave it in and accept that it's a little longer than I would like it to be. And because I didn't want to just go, this video is about flat earthers, bye, Which theoretically exists now. The Earth might have an edge.
that's exciting. And today I wanted to look at some of these people's reasons for their beliefs, their evidence, and I wanted to see what we as independent thinkers can make of their findings. See you in hell, you little lie ball. Nah! Oh, fuck! Oh, Jesus!
So I put that there because I thought, well, that's a really good thing to put in there instead of the whole phone call thing, which I think will just make for a nice backer video, or maybe for like just a random video to put in that's to do with the Night in the Woods video. But I thought it was just better to. It just works better there. Someone suggested that, and I was like, yeah, what a great opening that is.
Oh,
So.
nah! Oh, fuck! Oh, Jesus! Chapter 1, How Flat Earth Came Back from the Edge. So I'm not kidding about
That's a
flat
Pocari
eartherism
Sweat.
being recent. There are numerous flat earth societies that have been around for like 200 years, but usually
got
they're
one
just
right here.
a couple of people now just keeping the lights on. And even then, they were seen as weirdos by most people. Then
A thing I thought of doing here was putting on things of the old Flat Earth societies, but I couldn't find the exact ones I was thinking of, so I thought I'll just leave it in. And then, thank you Reality Punch Studios for saying that's definitely punchier. I see, I'm beginning to get your shtick. But the other thing I considered doing, there was this Globehead comment thing went on longer, and I added in the bit, like, it was the Earth argument equivalent of saying vote Ron Paul in, like, 2011 or something like that. Like, that kind of general joke, and that's why I went to the free market thing originally, but having it just happen out of context is just as good and saves on a bit of time.
on Facebook,
we haven't really even got to any of the
there were
arguments yet,
people
so.
who were like opening.
It was originally a 2-minute tangent with animation that I was going to hire someone to do in here about like how this stuff spread, but it just felt too much like a conclusion at the beginning, and I would have had to pay someone to animate a thing that I then was pretty sure I would cut, so I just didn't bother giving it the shot. So I'm going to have to hire someone to do something else now, just so I feel better about it. What is the point in having this many patrons if I can't get people to make something that's actually good for me, you know? It's better than me making anything. I love that sometimes I just manage to get the skeleton in the shot in the corner without even realizing it. I didn't pose the skeleton, though. He was just there in the corner when I set this camera up and was like, well, he's already there, I don't have to move him.
Joke pages pretending to be a flat earth society.
Cut the music when that little bit starts.
And it was just people having fun,
I could do
making
that, yeah.
silly sort of fake memes. And it is, let's all admit, very funny to call someone a globe head. But then, I don't know, society utterly fucking collapsed when I wasn't looking or something. Because now, in addition to some people believing that the free market is real and a good idea, some people believe the much less harmful and ridiculous fairy tale that the Earth is flat.
As of 2015, Flat Earth membership has grown massively, and now there's even a full Flat Earth convention, with people flying in from all around the globe to take part and pool their collective knowledge. Even some celebrities have voiced support for the movement, like Logan Paul, who's universally known for making well-thought-out decisions, and famous rapper Bob?
Little Robbie currently has a GoFundMe up asking for
I cut out the entire segment about Chap Hop and my music taste and the fact that I didn't know who Bob was. I just was like, this is one of the things I could easily cut. And there's like one joke here and it takes like 2 minutes to get to. So, and the joke is, hey, remember Chap Hop, which not many people remember, really.
$1 million to send
there we
up
go.
drones and weather balloons and satellites and rockets and stuff. And I kind of admire his commitment to science. He's really willing to put other people's money where his mouth.
Oh, did you consider include the $1 million prize competition that the Flat Earther did that a pilot solved like 3 times and he still refused to play out? First of all, it was $100,000 and I have considered it a lot because it's amazing. But I was like, I could do a whole bit on times Flat Earthers have tried to prove the Earth is flat and failed. Like, that's a whole video. So maybe at a later date, but I don't know. I feel like Flat Eartherism as a thing to cover is kind of done already, so I don't know. We'll see.
Is and find out the shape of the Earth. But what caused Bob to think the Earth was flat in the first place? Let's find out and dive into the first documentary I saw while I was researching Flat Earth, Odd TV's The True Earth.
Like everyone else, you were born into bondage.
So yeah, it's shorter, as you said, and also, you'll notice I cut out the joke about untangling my headphones, and there's another later on where I did that as well. Contra went on Chap Hop like a month ago, I think. I've heard good things about Chap Hop. I'll check him out.
Born into a prison for your mind.
I kept in the take the red pill like in the Matrix line because obviously you have to do
Take the red pill like in The Matrix. The Matrix is a good movie.
Oh god, I've got to make that Night in the Woods video.
Our daily observations of the Earth are consistent with a flat and stationary surface. Most, if not all, ancient civilizations knew that the Earth was flat.
Okay, that's an interesting start.
Chapter 2. That's not how knowledge works!
Okay, so philosophers and linguists and discoursists and those ivory tower Marxists I've heard so much about argue incessantly on the concepts of knowledge and truth. And they're all wrong, and I'm right. And here's how it works. People don't simply know.
Could have an image
things.
come up here, like a fade in,
People
like a
believe
Hydra made of
something to be
Zizek
true.
and other people.
Or to put
Is
it
the
another-
Robert joke gone? If so, rip. Yeah, it is, sadly, but it will live on in our hearts, and also as a bonus footage for people who pay me money. So I just put all the best jokes in, and then I put all the jokes I know won't make the cut in, and then I cut them, and it's funny. Hey Eric, welcome to the video you helped make.
By the way, they think
Well, by make as in you made it with the ending. That ending is great.
they
Just
know
the music
something.
is great. Thank
What
you for letting
RGB
me just steal
actually
it.
means here is that most ancient civilizations, or at least some of them, depending on how far back you go, thought they knew the Earth was flat. And he's ascribing knowledge to them, so that they definitely knew this in order to make it seem more credible that that thing is true.
The people of today would say that ancient cultures were ignorant.
I do have to
and
make that Night in the
unaware,
Woods video, yeah.
Yet they accomplished great feats
And
that
you do
we
have to
still
finish
can't
playing it.
accomplish to this day.
The ancient Egyptians. For those of you who can't hear, that background noise is is me copying his background music, but just doing it a cappella. I was very proud of that.
Built the pyramids, so how could they be wrong about unrelated issues? The ancient
When I was editing part of this video when my partner was staying over, and they laughed at that joke, so I find that like yeah, I did it. I made a joke that was funny to someone with a normal level of humor sense.
Egyptians knew that pharaohs were living incarnations of a humanoid god with a crocodile's head
Ancient
named Sobek, who was the
That's
lord
Comic
of
Sans.
seamen and helped the sun move through the sky, presumably by blasting it with sperm. The ancient Egyptians knew this thousands of
I like
years
the,
ago, and yet
I like
every
the
year
word-
we
I like the way
deny
I
the
say
sperm
Lord of
lord his
Seamen.
offerings of mummified crocodiles. And once more we threaten to awaken his anger.
Those of you who think this technical difficulty was planned,
I forgot.
Oh, that reminds me. I should probably click the thing and make the edits now, just so I remember to make them. I have a notepad here I was going to physically write notes down for, but then I decided not to bother. My normal thing is I watch the video through and make notes each time and then go through and go off the list with them all, and I was like, wait, I could just pause the video and go edit it, so let's go do that now. Hope this doesn't edit on an embarrassing thing. Oh, this is the thing I didn't want it to point out. I accidentally used an obsolete audio filter to show spoilers. Sometimes I use the this could crash the stream because it's a very intensive thing, but sometimes, how far in are we? It's at 520. Yeah, so I used I used an obsolete version of the pitch shifter, so when I use this, it doesn't work very well. There we go, delete it. So now that will sound proper, because on this version,
Threaten to awaken his anger.
those
you can hear looks like a section of it, because the obsolete pitch shifter takes like a split second to actually start to play, and the regular one doesn't, so this should work.
those
Yeah, like that'll work fine in the finished video, but the obsolete pitch shifter didn't work the way it should do, so Premiere would constantly flash up that I'd accidentally used the obsolete pitch shifter whenever I opened it. I was like, where is it? I'm sure I got it, and we finally got it because I heard it in that render. Sorry, this is me being ridiculous. Can we get this Sobek wallpaper? Yes, I am going to upload a wallpaper of the Sobek thing with the final video. And also, let me see, just move my thing off screen in case I saved a bunch of, like... I know I discovered, someone pointed this out in a comment on the back of version, but Mark Sargent, fucking genius Mark Sargent, puts his fucking home address in his about page. So I had to like manually go in and edit it out of the screenshot. So I wanted like, I can't go through my files on the stream in case, I accidentally dox another idiot who decided to put, where they live and their list of fears in a description. I screenshotted it to show someone else. So hold on. Pictures. There's where did I put the... There we are. Okay. So I've got a bunch of different versions of Sobek. I've got this one. I've got a version with an Instagram filter over it. This is the avatar I made for Sobek Lover 88, who is the a character I made and have played as on numerous Flat Earth forums asking questions about the Flat Earth, but none of that stuff came up in the video because no one gave any funny answers. I asked a bunch of legit questions about like how to do, like, I was like, hey, can someone explain to me how this works on an Earth, like which one's further and how, if I'm doing this right, and no one took the bait. They were all like, no, you're right, it doesn't work. Dox yourself to earn the globe heads. Yeah, so let me show you. Just close your eyes if you see any, distressing imagery. Here's something I thought was quite funny but decided not to put in the video. When the vegan neo-Nazi flat earther got banned from YouTube, which I added a clip in for this version, the related channels are Ed Sheeran and PewDiePie. I was just wondering why that would be. But where are you? It's what's his name? Mark. Where's Mark's video description? Basically, I just opened it in Paint and crossed it out. I didn't bother mentioning his home address was there in the video. I thought, it'd be funny to be like, this guy put a bunch of personal information in this description and probably shouldn't have done. I was like, if I do that, people might look for it, and I don't want to do that. Also, this is the avatar for Flat Earth Mingle, the Facebook page, which I thought was really, really good. So I saved it and did nothing with it, but it's great. What a great fucking avatar. Anyway.
Those of you who think this technical
Oh,
difficulty...
yeah, it sounds better now, doesn't it?
Those
Oh, yeah.
of you who think this technical difficulty was planned...
I forgot about this part.
I shortened this part
This
as well
video
a
in
little
particular
bit.
is great because, okay, spoilers, there aren't that many pro-flat Earth arguments. There's a couple of people who keep trying to come up with new ones, but really there's like 5 main ones, and then everyone keeps kind of ripping them off and rewording them and coming up with slightly different ways of saying the same thing over and over again. And this documentary goes one step further, and rather than remaking those arguments for an 18th millionth time, it actually just borrows
so wobbly.
clips from videos people have already made. It's great.
This is live on the air.
I'm on
okay?
that desk right
I'm
now.
going to zoom in on the Earth in Photoshop. Image, adjust, levels, and I'm going to bring the levels up. Uh-oh. What is that? Why is there a square box around the Earth allegedly taken from the scientists on the moon in Apollo 17? And people wonder why I don't trust NASA. That's why I don't trust NASA. I mean, they're always out there saying...
Wait a second, mate. Wait. Hold on a second, let me get my mouse.
Let's quickly create a new image. Let's make it 3000 by 3000 pixels, 72 pixels
So
per
this
inch.
bit's been
Let's do
shortened
a
down a
deep
bit.
fake.
Someone
Let's
told me that
fake our own pale
someone told me that this, well, I wasn't proving what I thought I was proving, and he was actually complaining because it was like a box, and not that it was compression specifically, but it wasn't a square box, and that's just how compression looks when it's that specific shape. I shaped a dot, and he shaped like a weird picture of the Earth as a ball because of the way light was currently reflecting off of it.
blue dot. That's not
Not
a
to
dot.
make me
You
scream
can
in
hold shift to
frustration
make
as a
it perfectly
digital
sensible.
artist.
Don't
Yeah.
make that mistake next time, globalists. Oh, look, that's some shine. That's an ocean. Oh, that's the land. We all live on that. It's exactly what Ptolemy's map looked like. So, if we were to do
glad
this
that comes
adjustment
back
right
up.
here with the image levels, turn it all the way up, you'll see that there's no nothing goes up. Nothing goes up at all. Wow, look. If only they'd properly cut the Earth out, NASA could have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling Photoshop users. Let's save it as a JPEG, and let's make it medium compression. So this is like an average amount of JPEG compression for an image on the internet. Now, let's quickly open up our untitled 1.jpg.
I keep
in
forgetting
Photoshop
that I did
ourselves. Now let's turn the levels up.
Oh god, I can only laugh at my own jokes if I catch myself off guard, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah, shit.
Oh my
I'm
god.
embarrassed.
Oh my god. It's a fake Earth picture that wasn't cut out properly. It's JPEG compression.
Because the video footage was like some other guys uploaded like live stream that had been then copied onto another video and uploaded again. Their version of this was really blurry and hard to tell, so I manually found the Apollo 17 moon landing image and remade it by using his exact settings so that it looked exactly, so you could see it in all its glory, just the JPEG compression. And you can see the complaint that it's a box is because the Earth is like squished. It's, they've in that picture it was too dark to see the part of the Earth that wasn't in the light of the sun because that's where all of the light comes from. So you can see, like, if I'd drawn an exact squished sphere, it would have had a similar box. I feel like my point is clear. But someone possibly watching this right now left a comment that I felt the need to address, and I took your comment seriously. Just so you know. You fucking idiot.
Okay, I'm already incredibly bored of this documentary. It's the same music clip playing over and over for 30 minutes, and it's jarring having all these other voices just kind of come in. It's just not very well made, and I've decided to just move on to other people's videos, which usually make the same points anyway. We might even run into one of the videos that they stole. But one thing I do want to bring up is
I shortened this down as well.
A meme that I saw posted here first, and I've seen it around since then.
Someone brought this up
towards the end of the
went on for a while,
documentary,
so I
and
cut it
was watching
out.
The first time I had to pause and just kind of laugh at it.
Refined.
It's this picture here. It's so fascinating. It's so direct, and it doesn't get what it's really saying. Like, just maybe don't brag too triumphantly about how you don't read books.
Chapter 3.
I think
He
that's
Who
simple,
Smelt It.
yeah.
Anyway, one of the main folks credited with
I'm
getting
a
the
JPEG
ball
Earth of the
rolling
world
in
isn't round or flat,
Earth.
it's JPEG compressed.
It's a little joke from me to you.
That's great.
Is Mark
you, Ransom
Sargent
Time.
and his video series entitled Flat Earth Clues. I've now heard about 2 or 3 dozen people
What is
say that this
gravity?
series is what really got them into the whole thing and taking it seriously.
Are we inside a Truman Show enclosed world, thousands of miles wide?
I took out all references to The West Wing because there was no place to mention the full thing that made it make sense, and there wasn't enough room to make it a good running joke, so I just took it out.
It's just like in the Truman Show. Oh, God. No, be nice, be nice. Growing up on South Whidbey Island, Washington, Mark Sargent started his career playing computer games professionally in Boulder, Colorado. Oh, great, a fellow gamer. He must be reasonable. Early in 2015, he released a
So
series.
I had to just quickly cut out his address there because otherwise I was basically doxing him by reading the contents of his YouTube page.
Series of YouTube videos titled Flat Earth Clues, which delves into the possibility of our human civilization actually being inside a Truman Show-like enclosed system. You already said Truman Show earlier in the description. Like, at least reference a different movie.
In other words, this is the video series that everyone else is cribbing from. So we should probably check it
I
out.
like the way the
shouldn't
music
we?
comes in when you...
I always wanted to do this joke, and this actually
Yeah, no more Western references. Sorry.
Well, that was a waste of time. Okay, I've now watched Mark's entire 14-part plus extras series about how the Earth is flat, which took a couple of hours. And what really jumps out at...
I did too much research for this video. Oh god, I mean, I don't actually mean that. You know, you can never do too much research. But I did so much research that I felt the need to show all of it. So there's so much of this process has been writing stuff I know I didn't need to and then cutting it out. Like, definitely the first draft of this video was very unrefined.
me is how shockingly boring and unconvincing it is.
Yeah,
Like,
the resting thing
you
is
think
like
this is
you
the
have to have
original
seen
one. This
West
is the
Wing
one that
and
got
know.
us,
You have to
and
intimately
it's
know
a
Flat Earth, but
slideshow
that's supposed to be my
with,
job
like, a
explaining
guy
it to you. So it's
kind
better
of
if I don't bring it up.
rambling, and he talks like he's really convinced. He knows the truth, and I assume people believe this because they're like, well, he sounds really into it. He must be onto something, but it's like really unconvincing. In order to summarize the point in any one of those videos that they make, you would have to edit
I assumed it was a good
around
joke
and cut
because
across
it's
in
H-bomb and
time so
H-bomb is
much to
funny.
kind of
No, lies.
formulate the actual point
It
so
was
much
bad.
that it would feel deceptive, like I'm sort of pulling some kind of trick by trying to get to the point he's making in a simpler way. And the evidence that he refers to
This is the first time I've ever had to go, I can't show you this video
that it
because
doesn't
to even
meet
explain
any
what they're
burden of
getting at, I
proof
would have to look
for
like
it
a
to be
liar
something that I would
re-editing
need
it.
to debunk anyway. Part 7, for example, Long Haul, is the one that really sticks out to me.
Videos are so
It takes
bad.
10 minutes to effectively say, I looked up some flights and I think they show the Earth is flat. That's all he had to say, but it takes 10 minutes. I promised myself when I was researching something like Flat Earth that I would try and find the strongest possible versions of any argument that I responded to or debunked, because with a movement as big and full of all kinds of sort of amateur people as Flat Earth, it's very easy to find someone making the point very badly and go, ha, and then pretend you've discredited the entire argument. And I didn't want to do that.
I need to get another button
And
for
I just
that.
want to acknowledge here that
I
it's
cut
really
out the
weird
part about
that
the
guy
quorum,
everyone
so now
credits
no one
for
will
getting
notice.
them in on it.
No one will know there's a
is-
good reason for why
the
my
videos
button's
are
missing. I'm
bad.
just gonna get a new button
Like,
now.
watch them, please, if you can stand
What
it.
is a
It's
shitty
just
2D platformer?
not very
Nice.
well put together, and that's just a bit weird to me because they're supposed to be the best ones. Take the Long Haul Flight one I mentioned already. 2 months after that came out, someone who's clearly seen that one has already honed the
Can you please pause when you're commenting on your edits? I will from now on. Thank you. Sorry.
point that Sargent was trying to make down into one that's actually
This is another candidate for cutting down, but I don't think I did.
a good video, and that video has like 6 times more views. We'll get to that video in a second, but first, if the globe model is wrong, what's the alternative? I think it's time we looked at what a flat Earth map actually looks like.
Chapter 4. Discworld. But not the fun one.
This is a poster I had made of Gleason's new standard map of the world. It was made in the late 1800s.
Oh, I also took out the tangent where I explain that the printer broke.
And
I'll
it
just leave that out.
shows what purports to be what the Earth actually looks like when it's flat. Now, this isn't the exact map that flat Earthers use. What they use is a version of this that's
I'm fond of that fade because I do fade from one of the maps to the other map in the same position, so it kind of actually fades into the other map, and I quite liked that they lined up so well.
projected the same way. There are lots of different ways you can project planet Earth. The Gleason map and other supposedly slightly more accurate and realistic flat Earth maps aren't actually just made up from something. They're based on a type of map projection that already existed, known as azimuthal equidistant projection. Not named for its creator, Philip Azimuth, because I just made that guy up.
I spelt Globehead correctly in this video.
And that projection method isn't completely useless. It's not just a silly picture. It's good for being able to tell what angle and distance you are from the North Pole. This is really accurate to where you are in relation to the North Pole, especially compared to other projections where the North Pole is like the wrong size or in the wrong place, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it properly, because flat maps are just inherently always a bit wrong. It also, as you can see, looks pretty nice. In fact, a stylized version of this projection is used as the logo for the UN, because they're in on it. Obviously. Most notable things about this map, the North Pole is now directly in the center of the Earth.
Listening to the video back without having access to my editing thing and seeing the layers of audio, all my fears about my voice being too quiet, music too loud, wrong sounding stuff, all melt away. It sounds alright. I'm worrying a lot less now, although we are only 13 minutes in, so we'll have to see, but so far I've alleviated my fears that I fucked up all the audio in this version of the video, so great.
And instead of there being a South Pole anywhere, it's now encircling the entire Earth in a giant wall of ice. Now I know what you're thinking, does this map hold any water? And the answer is, that's what the ice is for. By the way, does that mean global warming is now like way, way worse? Because like...
I left, this was originally one long take. Like, I try not to do cuts in my videos, but there always end up being a couple. And in that long take, when I say this was what the ice is for, I then say it holds the ice in, meaning to say it holds the water in. But I say the wrong thing, so I just cut it out.
If the ice wall melted, all the water would flow out and we'd all die of no water itis. I mean, on globe Earth...
I think that joke is funnier if I don't have anything pop up. I just say no water itis and then move on. I think it's funnier like that. I've gone back and forth on it, but I think that's funnier. And now I can't be bothered to make a graphic for it or change the video, so hopefully that version works. George Henry says the editing on that, well, that's what the ice is for, is fucking brilliant. Thank you. I did like the cut in.
We'd all just...
Oh, I kept the
drown
U2 tangent,
and
don't you
then-
worry. I mean, I've got the section where I talk about leaving in the joke about fighter jets, so I now can't take that out because it deletes too much else of the video. So that's stuck no matter what now.
boil instead. Yay! Another feature of this map is that what used to be the southern hemisphere is now much...
So you can see how I took out that this map can be easy to tear apart thing, which means it segues really easily into the another feature of part. So it does work better. I think I have this thing where I overwrite, where I think of every possible permutation of joke for every clip, and then do them all, and then put them all next to each other. And it's like, well, I've got to take at least a third of these out because it's the same joke, and then a second third is going to can't go because it's too long. And then you're left with hopefully a superior video. I mean, I cut 10 minutes out in like 2 days. It's not often I get to delete this much of my work, but there we go.
Further away from itself, as it were. Australia is now much further away from Africa or South America. And also everything is increasingly distorted the further out you get. Australia is now much wider than it used to be, even though people have actually measured Australia and it's about as long as it is wide. But clearly Sobek got to those guys too.
Chapter 5.
Okay, so here's the big change. Chapter 6 is now Chapter 5.
How do airlines work?
Coming back to this, the big, sexy frisbee upon which we all live for a second, how does this affect travel? Because, obviously, now that all the shapes and distances are very different, especially in the southern hemisphere, surely flight plans...
I do love the way I suddenly switch into a different dialect for the second half of this clip. I was really happy with... I came up with that while I was filming it and thought, oh, this. I like the way I say disc boys. It's just, I don't know, sorry. Sometimes I shock myself when I'm filming with an idea. Like, the idea of I turn and knock the skeleton over before I carry on talking was like a thing I just came up with and then put in. I like when I come up with something that adds to a thing I hadn't planned. It's just like, oh, that wasn't even in the script. There we go. Sorry, I'll stop rambling now.
Plans would be affected by this? They'd have to account for the non-curvature of the Earth and everything being in a different place? Well, luckily...
Sorry, Eric says, now they're coming back to the sexy discland doesn't make sense because you didn't leave. Yeah, but I like the term sexy frisbee. It's like... I didn't get to make the frisbee joke anywhere else, but at the same time, it doesn't make any sense. I had a long segment in an early draft of this video where there was a flat earth dating app called Frisbee. Yes, Luigi is dead in that scene. Yeah, what Eric said. You're right, I'll cut it out right now. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. How far are we in? 14 minutes? Let's do it. Let's delete more of my beautiful creation. More of... If I delete any more jokes, I'll seem like the biggest piece of shit. No sense of humor or life.
Travel. Because... Second, how does this affect travel?
Let's do it. Let's hit go on the death of my creation. Bam! It's gone!
Guys, too.
Chapter 5. How do airlines work?
How does this affect travel?
That works.
Because, obviously, now that all the
I could move this around as well, but... Yeah, like I could just... Yeah, that might be a good idea, actually.
place... Well, luckily, this is something Mark Sargent and the clever disc boys at the Flat Earth Society makes more...
I don't know how I did that with my voice, so I find that funny. I apologize for laughing at my own jokes, but...
More sense on a flat Earth,
Here's a video in time.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll be way better if I put that there. Hold on, let's see, watch this. Bang! Done.
How does this affect travel? Because, obviously, now that all the shapes and distances are very different, especially in the southern hemisphere...
And then we just do that.
Surely flight plans...
So, is this funny with or without music? Let's see.
Chapter 5. How do airlines work? Here's a video entitled, The Earth is Flat, the Plains...
I think that works. I'll maybe... do that. Beep, beep, boop.
Chapter 5. How do airlines work? Here's a video entitled, The Earth is...
Yeah, it's fine like that. Cool.
Flat, the planes help to prove the plane. It's got over 900,000 views. This is the video that I would say is something of an improvement on the arguments that Mark Sargent makes in his video entitled Long Haul. The arguments are still wrong, but they're made better, so points for that. Plus, that pun, I mean, oh boy. He looks up...
Took out the other West Wing reference there.
Trips from Sydney, Australia to Santiago, Chile, and notes that getting there requires multiple stops at other airports that are relatively out of the way and inefficient on the globe model, but on the flat Earth model they form an almost straight line.
You have to actually get up into the northern hemisphere and then come back down. So that doesn't make any sense. So I mapped it on the flat Earth map. And whoa.
Those lines are so
This
shit.
is a huge thing for flat earthers because
He could have used the line tool, but he insisted on using the pencil tool or something to draw the worst possible map I've ever seen.
like all the stuff they have to just ignore or prove is a big lie that didn't happen, this is something which supposedly proves that the flat earth model is true. Mark Sargent says this is the thing you should start with if you're trying to explain the whole thing to someone.
If you were looking to show someone how to view the flat Earth from a practical point of view, this is the example I would use.
Mark, you could have started with that and not waited until part 7. Like an hour in. Please hire an editor.
There are so many counterpoints to this, I don't know where to start, really. I suppose we should start with logistics.
It makes far more business sense for airlines to offer shorter connecting flights that can be used as part of a wider trip. I like that I could have used just shown stock footage, and instead I'm like, here's, and like maybe a diagram, and instead I'm like, here's a YouTube video from stock footage, and then I just look at the one comment on it. I just think it's really funny that I just like the most low effort like the joke for me here is just like, let's do the opposite of a high effort explanation of the thing and just show a screen cap of a video from 2010 and fuck around in the comments. I just think it's like the opposite of what you would get on a normal as you know, like a normal YouTuber's video where they explain things. Yeah. Then one direct flight to the one place that one group of people might happen to go. You know, airports aren't magic. Like, it takes a certain amount of time for a plane to take off and land on a runway, and there's only so many runways. You think London City Airport for a plane to take off and land? I'm using my Live Channels account, so it's got my face with me in the Sonic makeup. And on a runway, and there's only so many runways. You think London City Airport, with its minuscule, piddly little piss runway, has the time to furnish flights to Chile? What are you talking about, mate? That said, that doesn't mean that long-distance flights like this never happen. There's actually a direct flight from Sydney. I was talking to Sean about this, and he said if he did this, he would have it cut sooner. And the reason it doesn't just cut and then it's immediately being deleted is it was like I didn't have anything to put there else, so I just was like, well, I guess we'll just hang on that joke for far too long.
To Santiago, Qantas QF27. It goes non-stop and takes way less time than the non-direct routes. On a flat Earth map, QF27 would take far longer than these supposedly direct paths, and also the distance would be so much longer that the plane would run out of fuel and crash in the ocean.
Someone actually asked, why is this line curved? Because surely it should be a straight line. But no, it's because this is the actual flight path. The flight path kind of goes along this line of latitude. Is it latitude? I get mixed up. So that means when you map it on the flat Earth, it looks like a curve around for no reason. Anyway, yeah.
How does this guy deal with the existence of this flight, or a flight with just one connection that doesn't go the direct route on a flat Earth map? Well, they actually do pop up on his flight tracker. That's the first clue I found to these flights existing.
But I don't think this flight...
I could have cleaned up the audio here. I could have noise reduced his audio and like turned him up, but it's way better just to let you know that 900,000 people watched this guy with his...
Never takes off. It's available only Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday also, to kind of pinch you out and make you do something different.
No, Mark Sargent is not using a Blue Yeti. He's using a Blue Snowball, and he's holding it in his hands instead of using a stand.
He actually says that they're not real.
I don't think either one of these two flights are real. They're just kind of there to keep guys like me from figuring this shit out.
He sees through Qantas's dastardly trick to sell tickets to a plane that's real. You can watch this footage of the flight. Look, why would Qantas do all of this just to make people think that the Earth was a globe? What do they get from that? Like, what's the... I don't understand.
The guy tries to do Johannesburg to Perth too.
And once again, we only have one...
69 people watching now? Oh, that owns. Nice. Did I just close the video? No, it's there. I hit M. Okay. Sweet.
Non-stop.
Almost as if there's reasons why you wouldn't have that many flights going that one direct flight. Almost.
These two in black, this is the non-stop that they have to Perth. But the reason I put these in black is because I don't think they exist either.
Oh no, of course not. I mean, I've actually met someone who's been on that flight. But whatever, maybe they're in on it too. Maybe I'm in on it too. Hail Sobek. We need to keep everyone thinking the Earth is a globe. That way we can...
hang on 1 second.
Yeah, why are we doing this again?
I thought it would be funny.
When he maps those supposed more direct trips he found...
That background of a curtain is a default effect in After Effects. There's an effect that's just curtain. and you put it on and it makes that exact curtain. I didn't even change the colours. It's just the curtain effect that comes with After Effects.
Onto the flat Earth. And by maps, I mean draws shit squiggly lines that in no way match up with the flight plans. One of them doesn't make sense on the flat Earth either. It goes all the way out of the way to Sydney before it doubles back and heads to Perth.
These are all the flights to Sydney, so it still looks like a pretty long shot to Sydney. But who knows, maybe this map isn't even correct. Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe this map of the flat Earth isn't correct. Maybe it's maybe. Chapter 6. Where's the curve?
Oh, because of the way I edited my things, the ARPTA appears. Look, it says maybe. Chapter 6.
6. Where's the curve? Oh, there it is.
I should probably take that out, but it's also quite funny leaving it in, so I don't know. What time is that? 1944? 1944. Sorry. It doesn't make any sense, so I should take it out. It's a joke from the past.
There it is. Another thing flat earthers dispute is the curvature of the
I like
Earth.
this music.
I mean, if it's flat, it can't be curved, can it? Well, I guess it could be slightly convex, but they don't bring that up for some reason.
Like, I either explain this properly, or I accept that it's not worth it. There are so many things you could pick on flat earthers for, and I'm like, I could just do this in a thing, or I can make the video another 10 minutes longer, so I'm just not going to bother.
The main way they do this consists of filming horizons or finding footage of horizons and saying, well, I don't see a curve, which, you can't see the curvature that close to the ground. Perspective doesn't work that way. And then they go on to assert that all footage that does show a curvature from high up is faked, either on purpose, by, like, movie studios working for NASA, or accidentally through flaws in camera equipment. Some types of wide-angle camera lenses distort perspective, and almost all small action cameras like GoPros have very wide...
So I think this clip works a lot better in this order, where it comes after the explanation of flights, which goes with the map stuff anyway, so I think this works better. I thought it'd be cool to leave the map and come back to it, but it works better just doing all the map stuff earlier on.
Angle lenses to film as much as possible. The assertion flatties then make is, well, the appearance of a curvature is therefore the result of looking at the flat...
You're live? Oh, I'm actually live! Wow! Please work. Please work. Are we going? I think we're coming back. Let's open my own stream. Ugh. Steam close. Massages in Swint. Oh, we're back! Yeah! Hello, me! Hello! There he is, he's waving! He's waving! Ah! Oh, jeez, I waved for like a full minute. Ah, jeez. Okay, right, where were we? Sorry about that. I forget that when, sometimes when my internet has a slight hiccup, OBS says, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking completely shit the bed and explode and destroy everything," and I have to restart my whole computer. So, let's start the video again from the beginning. No, I'm kidding.
Someone rebranded. Where's the curvature of the Earth? None of you can debunk this video. Anyone with half a brain can see how they use deceptive wide-angle fisheye lenses to deceive you. You can't use the word deceive twice in a sentence, that just doesn't scan. Oh, and in keeping with flat earthers just copying each other all the time, this video is literally just taken from another channel. Now, in my opinion, this is the actual closest that flat earthers have ever got to actually being right about anything. Here's a quick test I did with my old GoPro. The GoPro's
weirdly proud of that shot.
Truly being right about anything. Here's a quick test I did with my old GoPro. The GoPro's wide lens means it can see a lot at once. In fact, it even saw the trash I was sure would be out of the shot and didn't bother picking up. However, this perspective is distorted. I can tell you right now my floor is flat and doesn't curve downwards here. As I move the GoPro closer to this totally normal shaped sex museum postcard, we can see the distortion become even more exaggerated. The beautiful pride flag is ruined. It looks like Graham Linehan has touched it. This is me holding a measuring tape just to give another reference. The curvature of the Earth is definitely susceptible to being exaggerated by wide-angle lenses. But like with JPEG artifacts, you can't just move a slider and say, it proves I'm right. It's not... Look, I'm gonna use my video editing magical skills again to show you something. There isn't like a magic fix fisheye lens button in a video editor. Whenever I've had to correct fisheye lens footage for a video, I've had to do it by using an effect that corrects distortion and then dialing in the angles manually. And this stuff is really hard to do by eye. The best technique for doing this is to find something you know is supposed to be flat and then correct until it looks flat. See, that tape turned out to be there for a reason. A clever trick. Now, I'm going to give you 3 guesses what part of the footage flat earthers use when they are trying to correct footage to prove that the Earth is flat. Did you get it? It's hard to see, but the correction is clearly too much if you know what to look for. On the ground, certain things curve in weird directions just slightly, and at certain angles during the video, the Earth starts to look slightly concave.
Our daily observations of the Earth are consistent with a flat and stationary surface.
I just want to acknowledge how fucking funny it was when I was watching this documentary for the first time and it fades from a thing saying our world is flat and it's a wide angle shot that's not been corrected properly, so it looks like it's curved. It looks like the planet is concave. How do you fuck it up this bad?
From this high up, the Earth's curvature would in fact be visible, but probably very slight. You'd have to use a ruler to make sure.
Have a good night,
but exactly
everyone.
how curved it would have been is hard to tell because of the nature of the footage filmed with these lenses.
You know, the reality.
Oh, that's a really cool lens correction thing, Cooper. I'd be curious to hear about that if you message me about it. That sounds really neat, yeah. The way I tend to do it is I'm like, well, I know that board is flat and stuff like that. And there are now presets for like, here's a generally good correction for this kind of GoPro with this kind of lens. But we still aren't at the state where, like, if it was easy enough to just automatically fix, the cameras would do that themselves. So, nah.
The Earth is flat.
Hi, actually, T.
You can't actually see the curvature of the Earth from the window of a passenger plane. They don't go high enough to show more than like a degree or two, basically. You can't.
There's a long tangent I cut out where I talk about the time I sat next to a flat earther on a plane that was going to go here and then I cut out.
You can see the curvature of the horizon, but only from high up. And I mean really high up. Not airline high, not even Mary Jane high. I'm talking U2 high. Come on in here, Bono, The Edge, Adam Smain? Not that U2, silly. We have fun. I mean, of course, the Lockheed U2, a high-altitude spy plane used by the US government. You might remember the U-24. Its operating height of 70,000 feet, almost 3 times the height of a commercial aircraft, violating international law numerous times, getting caught violating international law numerous times when it turned out it wasn't very good at spying, getting shot down over the Soviet Union in 1960, getting shot down in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis and contributing to the Cold War nearly escalating into full-scale nuclear war. Luckily, the US government gave up on illegally spying on other nations with a shit plane they can see in 1980. Wait, hang on. They're still using it! Here's James May, the least shit guy from Top Gear, taking a ride in one. You can see that at conventional airplane heights, the horizon is fairly flat.
I want to hear the cut U2 review.
Hopefully this early shot of the horizon looking really flat.
I think GoPros do software correction depending on what mode they're in. That's interesting to hear. Huh.
That establishes that the lenses aren't distorting anything here. As he reaches the maximum height, the atmosphere stops being breathable and the sky starts to turn black. At the higher altitudes, we can finally see both the staggering beauty of our little blue world, but also a slight yet pronounced curve on the horizon. So I think it's fair to say that, in conclusion, the Earth's curved slightly, I win.
This has just been...
I cut out the part where I, like, apologize afterwards because it just seemed like it flowed better. I originally had the conclusion thing be here,
but that's like halfway through the video, and it kind of gives the game away that at this part the video takes a turn.
And a brief rundown of the flat Earth points that I feel are at least more credible.
Also, look how like messed up my clothes are at this point. I was just wriggling around because it was so cold. I was constantly going trying to warm myself up. My garage doesn't have like enough power to have a heater on as well as the lights. If I put a heater on as well, all the light power goes out. So I just have to deal with the cold. That's why I look so red in the videos. It's not because I'm tired or high or sick. It's just because it's so cold my eyes go, rah, I'm going to turn red now and try and get more blood in me to be warm.
And the rest, they get increasingly weird and tangential from here on out. For example, almost all flat earthers say that the moon landing was faked, because if we...
Sorry, I'm constantly drinking water. Just want to indicate that I put it up on the thing torn side first. That's where some of the damage was from the damaged thing. So. Oh, thanks for the technical specifics thing, Cooper. I will look at that. I'll open that.
We actually went to the moon and took pictures of the Earth, and it showed that the Earth was a globe because...
You need some thermals underneath. That's a really good idea. I will look into that. I'm going to write that down. Thermals. You just saved my YouTube channel. Cheers.
It's in different positions.
It's not new cameras I need or like lenses. I've got fucking enough of those. You stop buying those, Harry. You need fucking clothes that are warm.
Different pictures.
Hey, Eric, welcome back.
You can't have done that. So the moon landing, it's in different positions, in different pictures.
I forgot I did that.
You can't have done that. So the moon landing has to all be faked, with the extra caveat that goes on top of the regular moon landing conspiracies, which is that it was all done simply to make people think the Earth was round for some reason. They try and counter the fact that you can't see things on the other side of the horizon by claiming that cameras with long enough zoom lenses, like the Nikon P900, can actually show things that should be behind.
I was going to use footage of them showing this, but it's so annoying for them to demonstrate that it's easier for me to just hang on me and then, add any more stuff to the shot.
Behind the horizon, which, no. That's not what's happening. The camera can see further than your disgusting human eyes, which I thought the point was they were the only things you could trust. But no, apparently now we're supposed to trust the globe heads at Nikon. I've pronounced that company's name both of the ways that people pronounce it now, so everyone gets to yell at me. Also, Mark Sargent has actually said this. He thinks that the moon gives off its own cold light, which makes things colder, and therefore proves that the moon isn't just a rock floating.
Oh yeah, you don't always want to correct it because you lose data. Yeah, that's also correct. Like, when I've used GoPro footage in videos, have often not corrected it, especially when I've done stuff. I did stuff for a band where I had GoPros set up. I've never corrected for that because it's better to make sure everything's in there. Hi, Box full of Bats, welcome. You'll see that in like a minute because of the delay YouTube streams are on.
In space, it's part of the big firmament that some flat earthers think. Just 1 second.
Do I make does the Firo and Claude music start here? That's great. You can sort of hear the transition from like,
and therefore, so Mark Sargent has actually said this.
Like it's like like standard music, and then it suddenly it's like I love the soundtrack to that game. It's an awful game, and the soundtrack is crap, but it's like perfect for my videos. It's the exact level of like shit used ironically.
In space, it's part of the big firmament that some flat earthers think. Just 1 second.
So the way it comes when I put the ball down is like an accidentally quite good. Having it coming in.
Arranging this to be in the shot properly makes it actually really hard to dial. I want you to appreciate that.
Hello.
Hi there, is that Popular
His
Gaming?
acting is so good. I was like, I gave him a vague script and he was like, here's how I would do the script you gave me. And he does it way better than I'd imagined him. Like, way better than my script called for. He's great. What a beautiful man.
YouTuber.
Also good. I didn't mean to compliment his appearance there, but he's also very nice looking. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that.
Up is Not Jump, who also incidentally has a master's in chemistry.
Yeah, this is the third time I'm recording this because I got my lines wrong the first time and then the microphone wasn't on.
Excuse me. Can moonlight make things cold?
This is like the worst
No, the
cameo
moon
ever. I love
reflects
it.
light from the sun, and the intrinsic property of waves is basically all waves have energy because they have a frequency. It's just the nature of the universe.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks. Great. That was easy. Bye.
Wait. You don't want me to do...
I like the joke introduced by him being really he gives a really complicated answer, and I just go, oh, that was easy. Like the way he introduced that joke by way of giving a really complicated short explanation. I think he's a genius. He fixed my video.
A funny sketch or something. I can do a joke here.
Nah, the video's looking too long already. I decided to leave in the tangent about fighter jets, so...
I almost dubbed over this part of the video with just me going, spy planes, because like I clearly fucked up, but yeah, I'll just keep like this.
It's probably not worth it.
I love your voice when you're almost sneering out, yeah. I don't think I left it in, but I have a clip of me saying, does Moon Knight make things cold? And then I immediately start to laugh and apologize, because like, I did feel like I was being rude to him in the stream. Because like, when you send someone footage of you being really mean at them over the phone, you feel like you're being bad to a person. I really got into character of being a piece of shit.
No, wait, don't go. I can prove mathematically that this is the correct way.
Also, I felt really bad hanging up on him there. Like, that feels mean, even though there's no one on the other end of that phone. Although that is a working phone. But, yeah.
This all, I feel, leads to a necessary and important question. If all of the evidence for the flat Earth is so, well...
Maybe an asterisk spy planes. Maybe they'll just let me get away with it if I say fighter jets. Maybe it will... If I don't acknowledge the mistake, maybe it won't look like one to most people. Let's just be careful.
Easy to throw out. Why do people actually believe it?
Chapter 7. Why do people believe things that are obviously wrong?
Because they're stupid. Bye!
Would you like... I considered taking out the chapter heading there and just having it be a long pause of me staring, and then I just say it and get up. And I'm not sure. Chat, you tell me which I should do. Because I can take it out. You can let me know now, but I've thought about it and decided to leave in the chapter heading, but I don't know. I'm not sure which one is funnier. I think it's funnier cutting away to the chapter and cutting back and that being it, but it could go either way. I'll let you know.
To build a beautiful website easily?
Does Squarespace fade in too much? I think it does, but that's like, the most it fades in is like 17% or something, but it's still too much. It's still obviously... Yeah.
Good, so would I.
No, we're not actually going to do that. That would be unreasonably rude. Let's take these people a bit more seriously than that. Some of them are clearly very knowledgeable. Some of them have like big, important degrees in serious fields. They know way much more than I do about all kinds of actually useful things. Some of them take evidence very seriously, clearly, and they believe in the scientific method. Not all of them. Some of them are not actually very knowledgeable about anything and seem to think Donald Trump is a genius, and also he's their guy, and he secretly knows the Earth is flat, and he's going to expose NASA. I suppose it would be disingenuous not to talk briefly about the really weird people.
In fact, the misogyny thing in specific is real.
Oh, a lot of people mentioned how Squarespace fade in later and faster. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that in After Effects, yeah. Just a thing to acknowledge here. Coming up is the really awkward Flat Earth Jake guy. But I've made a couple of cuts to shorten that bit because it was so much, and I thought it'd be better.
Really surprising.
It'd be better to just like... Because he's so anxiety-inducing that I took it out, because some people said they skipped that part of the video. So I thought I'll cut some of it out. So, yeah. Just to let you know if that's coming up.
One of Mark Sargent's inner circle, Patricia Steer, gets
I'm very fond of that joke.
A lot of hate from other factions of flat earthers for supposedly just being in it to be popular.
Or some go even as far as to say that she's actually a secret CIA plant designed to make flat earth look bad, and or trick people with her appearance into making them believe the wrong version of flat earth.
You better wake your ass up. All of them is fucking satanic puppets. Yes, that's why they flashed this one on TV. No doubt about it, was put there by the CIA on YouTube to distract the masses that want to learn the truth. Yes, the earth is flat, but you can never take it from these sodomites. Of course, they're going to lead
that
in the
fucking guy is
Wake
so
your
good.
Ass up. There go your Patricia Spear right there.
Patricia
It is Atlanta by the CIA. 100%.
Frankly, even the people who like Patricia are super weird about it. I mean, Mark himself made a video just dedicated to how pretty he thinks she is, which, like, it's fine. It's okay to find someone attractive. That's okay. But it's a bit weird to, like, make a video about how pretty you think she is, right? Still not as bad as the people who think that she's a deep state plant designed to make flat eartherism look like. With every movement like this, I feel awful for every woman in it because they always get absolutely shat on, even by people who agree with them. Like, I feel awful. Like, I've become like one of the worst kind of liberals where it's like, hire more women prison guards. From like, why can't you at least just be nice? Why can't you be feminist conspiracy theory Nazis? It's like, it's already too much to ask, but I just wish they were nicer to Patricia. I feel awful for her. Bad though. All the people zooming in on every picture of her face they can find in order to speculate that she's a secret trans woman. Okay, a lot of people came to me about this, and I'm glad you did. Some people said you should put in a warning for the T-slur that's audible in case people are listening to this, or if they're not paying attention, because obviously it's a very serious thing. In the end, I thought I'll just take it out. I'll just take out the audio because it's not worth it. It's not worth warning for it. So there you go. I heard Patricia Sphere for a hot second. Like, oh damn, what a funny joke that would be. Patricia Sphere. That's an amazing joke. And why has no one thought of that before? Okay, no joke. Caitlin Kunkel, become a YouTuber. You're a genius.
And I know what.
Oh my god, this guy has a folder on his phone. Steam, War, Research 6, Fake News. What is this guy's problem? Oh, of course, Reddit.
A 44-year-old female looks like. You are a 20-something.
Being a woman in a conspiracy theorist movement is apparently grounds to have your body history... Could just bleep the word. Yeah, I decided to just cut it out and just write the text thing, because I don't like censor beeps, like beep, like they never sound right to me. So I thought, well... And also, censorship is like... The beep is there because someone said it and they need to have something there to like go over it, like in a broadcast. This is not a broadcast. This is me making a video. I can just cut the sound out. It's like when people are making a video and they censor their own swearing. It's like, you could have just not done the swear. It's your video, So I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm just weirdly anal about it. So I just thought I'll just cut it out. Yeah. And the people would call it out too much. Yeah, I just want it to be like, yeah, this guy said this shitty thing. Let's not draw attention to it. I felt bad for leaving it in. So there we go. Goals, agenda, every single tiny thing about you speculated upon it. I try and jokingly make fun of people when people act weird on the internet, like keep it light. But honestly, this stuff is so fucking disgusting. I'm not even going to make a joke here. Patricia's wrong about the Earth being flat, but she deserves to be in a movement that's better than this shit. Come on, guys.
To be honest, the people treating Patricia like that, and the people...
I just realised I make this comment twice. There's this time and the time with Flat Earth Jake where I'm like, maybe they're the real plants because they're such pieces of shit, but like, I can make that joke
being
twice.
Being mega racist on Flat Earth Facebook pages seem to me like the real plants designed to make Flat Eartherism look bad. They don't make it look as bad as this guy does, though.
I'm flowing on with a song for your mom.
I also censored I also Gaussian, or Gaussian, I never knew which. I also blurred out the painting of the woman's body, because I'm like, maybe I get in trouble for this. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want anyone to report any parts of it. I don't want to get flagged by flirthies.
Splat and her ass is the bomb. Tell her I'll be back with a smack for her son. Then tell her she's fat like a Renaissance cunt. Tell her all that. Then tell her one more. Tell her that you were the son.
What a fucking line though. That line is actually like the circle it goes in is tell your mother. I want you to go and tell your mother that you are the son of a whore. Like, what are you like? How does that? That's like, it's almost a clever line. If Eric Dubay was a character played by a genius Marxist, props, because that's a clever line. But the problem is it's not clever because he means it. He actually says it. Like, it's like, it's not, it's one, sometimes you really do go like, shit, irony's gone. They've ruined it. The C word is that, yeah, it is, but like, I don't know. That's a word where it's like, that's just a really bad swear to me. I know it's like, there's a line that like I've had people say the N word and I've not censored it before because it's like, look how racist this person is, because it's a difficult line, and this is like I'm just having this discussion right now on the air. This isn't me just defending my choice here. This is me thinking maybe I should change it. It's like with some words it's bad, and you want to show that they said it, and it's bad, and go here. Sometimes it's like this word has a direct visceral effect on people that you want to avoid causing, and like. You want to minimize harm. You don't want to cause harm with your videos, and it's weird. Like, I just kind of assume with the N-word that hearing someone say it isn't tremendously upsetting, so much as just a really shitty thing to say. And I feel the same way about the C-word, but I don't really get to make that call. You know, the first I think 2. Trans people I spoke to about the T slur like early on when I was discussing this with people were both okay with it. So I got off on this wrong foot of like, oh, it's a word that most people are okay with. They're not okay with it. It's real bad. And so the third one I talked to, I said, so far the consensus I've got is they're like, no, fuck. And so that was like thank God I didn't like. Thank God I hadn't made a video yet covering this topic, and I'd talked to more people. Turns out you should always talk to more than 2 people. I'm glad I did. I managed to come around there to compliment myself. Sorry. What's going on? What is the insult along with... you want international pun? Yeah. I don't say it. I don't say the C word. In fact, here's a true fact. My dad is a... I wouldn't say progressive. He was. I think he might have been a commie back in the day. Like, he spent some time in East Germany back when it was a thing, and he was very okay with, you know. So he was a progressive-ish guy for his time. He was very down with swearing. He was okay with it. He didn't mind me swearing as a kid. As a kid, I swore in like primary school, and they brought my parents in, and Harry said the F word in front of the class, and my dad was like, okay, we'll punish him, haha, and just didn't bother. I think he actually wrote a fake apology on behalf of me, like, I'm sorry that my son said this, and he'd actually called like the person who called him in a stupid bastard, and very lightly crossed it out. He never sent it, but he showed me the card years later, and I was like, holy shit, that is fucking wow, Dad. But the C word, I said it once, and he said, never say that again. And he's only said it one other time in his life, and he said it as an expletive right after describing the events of the Holocaust. My dad spent a lot of time studying like, he's read a lot of diaries of people who were alive during the Holocaust and documenting it, and been like, you know, so that's the degree he reserves it for. And so for me, the C word is always a thing where it's like, I will accept other people saying it and not be annoyed, and for me, it's like a word that doesn't cross a line in a certain sense, but I will never say it. That's just how I'm wired. But it's like, this is me literally just now on the stream going back and forth on whether or not I should cut it out. But also just like, that whole line is like, it goes by so fast that kind of censoring it adds just enough of a layer that it kind of throws you off. So I think I might just leave it. Also, right afterwards, I do go like, this guy's a misogynist. So... it should work. Your dad's a legend. That's lovely. My dad's all right. We get on all right. He doesn't understand the internet. He doesn't get it at all. He finds it super weird. But one time we were in South Shields, North Shields, I forget which Shields it is, and we went into a charity shop, and the guy working there recognized me, and then he was like, "Oh, my son does something that's real," and I was like, yeah. So thank you to whoever that was, because it's fucking... now you fixed my relationship with my father. Anyway, yeah, so...
Oh no, everyone's going to think I'm trying to misrepresent flat earthers as misogynist. Flat earthers don't inherently disrespect women, okay? It's just a lot of them happen to.
Was I right? The Earth's fucking flat, Holocaust denied. Hitler was cool and not a bad guy. Talmudic Jews the control of your mind.
I just couldn't wait to bring Hitler up, could he? Jeez. Oh, that'll make his beliefs seem credible.
Oh, that's surprising. Like 2 days before this video was going to go online, that guy's channel got deleted by YouTube. I wonder why. I guess it will always remain a mystery. Chapter 9. Flat Earth fucked up my recommendations, and you have to suffer with me. Oh, great. I accidentally went... I'm happy with that new cut.
Caitlin Cookle says C-word is an aware that you don't use lightly. Like I'll say fuck about anything, anytime, but C-word is various. But yeah, exactly. I hadn't seen this bit. Yeah, that's a new bit actually that I added because Eric let me know his channel had basically been deleted. Like while I was making this video, like one of the videos that I had downloaded from his channel to make this video was gone when I went to check. I'm just being my own personal feminist. I try to say clit instead of dick. Like, if I want to say something, that's pretty funny. But I don't know. I'm trying to get better at not using gendered slurs, and by get better at, I basically managed to never say them like as part of my normal dialect, and then I started dating someone who found them really funny and got more into them again. Like, I dated a girl who as a joke would like to be over the top would say words like pussy, and I'd be like, can you and it turns out that it's not nice to like say, can you say that to someone who obviously probably should be allowed to say, like, it's a whole thing, you know, your life goes in circles like that.
Like 2 days before this video was going to go online, that guy's channel got deleted by YouTube. I wonder why. I guess it will always remain a mystery. Chapter 9. Flat Earth fucked up my recommendations, and you have to suffer with me. Oh, great. I accidentally went to the shitty side of YouTube. You click on one vegan, flat Earth, neo-Nazi rap. I just had to say that phrase, but it's all true. And now my recommendations are full of the really weird people.
I don't know if that was in there before, but Eric mentioned, you know, you should probably get a clip of him with all of his food so people know that he's a vegan or whatever. And so yeah, put that in there. People who seem a bit like they might be using Flat Earth as a refuge for some kind of deep existential emptiness and film themselves walking around in public. One of the there's a patron here who said this guy, they know this guy, and apparently he plays bass guitar really loud too. Like this town knows him, and that's really funny. But yeah, Jake the asshole, what a guy, Shaky Jake. Like asking people if they... I've cut this part down slightly, so it's a bit less embarrassing.
Think the Earth is flat in a Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot and yelling at people at a bar.
You're saying that he dips his nose down, but you don't know how. He dips his...
You see there, I tried to have a conversation, and of course they don't like it because they start losing the argument because they can't make any real...
By the way, instant karma, easy YouTube channel for any of you. Find someone who films themselves having debates and then later talks about the debate in retrospect and cut them together. Just watch the difference between, you know, what they say about it and what they actually did. It's amazing. It's like, oh, I was just trying to have a conversation. It cuts to them and they're like, you say what?
Points.
Ah, my favorite kind of reasonable debate. The kind where you walk up to someone in public with a camera and demand they debunk Flat Earth. He seems to be following the Ben Shapiro strategy of making videos where you give it a title like, oh, I kicked their asses with my smart boy brain, and then you actually watch it and it's them making a complete ass of themselves.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
I also like the editing where, like, the person he's debating in the one clip is sat in that chair, and then when I've cut back, so he's left and someone else is sat in the chair, so it looks like he's just morphed into someone else.
You're disturbing our guest.
Okay.
Bye.
So I cut this part out.
It's going up online.
But how could I cut this part? This is just genius.
6,000 subscribers.
You think you could destroy me? Well, I'll have you know. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I think this was a productive day.
Oh God, in this one... That's a genuine reaction. That fucking line was so good. I almost fucking had a heart attack.
Video, he's got a Lunar Lander shirt on. He's made Lunar Module or Homeless Tweakers Shelter. And he's going around filming random people on their day off from work or at work, asking them if they think the Earth is flat, and they keep awkwardly nodding and saying he's right in the hopes he'll go away.
Wait. This makes me think of that one line from MST3K, my reviews have destroyed whole cities. God, I don't think I've seen that. I don't remember that joke from MST3K. I've not seen all of it, though, so I'd love... Please let me know which one that's from. That sounds great.
Ever seen the Earth curving? Me neither. You know why? It's because the Earth is...
I cut out the part where he filmed some kids and I censored it because, like... Just don't show it. Like, it's awful. I feel bad even showing these people who didn't ask to be in it.
It's flat and it doesn't spin. Look into it. When you get home, go on YouTube and check out the flat Earth. Not Spielberg. They say it was Stanley Kubrick.
Just the way his
Kubrick,
Hollywood
that was the
trickery is really
rumor.
funny to me.
Whatever it was is Hollywood trickery.
It's so awkward, and he's so sure he's owning people and looks smart. I'm getting sympathy anxiety for the people he's talking to. It's just, no, stop it.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that looks more like a lunar module or a homeless tweaker shelter, if you had to pick one?
Is this really happening?
Just if you had to pick one.
Why did he choose such an unwieldy
So I had it
quote
cut
to
there.
use on the shirt he designed and then was going to say a lot in a video? Why is this his opening to his It's such a terrible shirt. Why did he?
So I'm wearing a shirt now. I recreated it to try and understand.
I'm very happy with
what
that
the deal
cut.
is, what it's
Selena,
going on here.
help.
And frankly, I still don't get it.
Oh, tweaker, I believe is a term for people who are on some kind of drugs. You know, like he's tweaking out.
It was a complete waste of time. If I ever open a merch store and you see this shirt on it,
I do have this shirt. It's just on the floor by my bed. I will sign it in like a silver pen on the back, and just I'll either sell it like on my merch store. That'll just be one of them, or I'll just pack it with one of the things that I sell. I've also got this. I'm taking a bunch of weird Polaroids of myself to just pack in with things if I ever open a merch store. One of just a weird Polaroid picture of me with the words "Don't believe his lies" written under it.
it's the one shirt that I made of these. So I'll sign it or something if you want. Please do not wear it in public though. No one will want to be.
Matthew Kozchek says methamphetamine specifically. I did not know that. Thank you. I learn more about drugs every day. God, I never got into drugs. I'm fairly certain I'm allergic to weed, based on the 2 experiences I've had with it, and it's not that interesting to me. It's a very it's relaxing, and I kind of need a stimulant in my life to keep going. If I have a beer, I need a nap. You know, I'm a really boring, lazy person, but I did salvia once, and I was like, oh, that's quite cool. My face is like clay now, and then that's it. I think I have an addictive personality, so I'm good at not doing drugs. So I missed out on all the fun drug shit that I could have been doing. So yeah.
Your friend. So yeah, we probably.
By fun drug shit, I obviously mean I very luckily escaped what is for a lot of people a horrible nightmare burden, but which people seem to take a weird point of pride in having experimented with. I just don't find that fun. I knew a guy who was like, oh, I learned so much because I took an E and I saw the walls melt, and I was like, yeah, buddy, you're so clever. I helped that guy film a short film in my house. I remember that guy now. It's weird, not because of drugs, and he was just he just liked himself a lot. I don't know, I find those people annoying because I feel like they're like a reflection of me. I feel like I like myself too much. But that's what people with self-esteem issues believe about themselves, so I'm told. But no, I'm just really self-obsessed. Anyway, I just realized, I think, has the wallpaper started to tear there on the walls behind the thing? That's good. It's starting to naturally fall apart already. That's awesome.
Should at least acknowledge it. Some of these people believe there's a global, flatal conspiracy to control the world and eat everyone's mind.
Kalinus the Necromancer says, big money Salvia, yeah. I've done Oxy once after fucking up my back. I think I did Salvia because of him. I think my friend Rob found out about Salvia. I'm spending New Year's with Rob, actually. Through watching that video on YouTube. I'll have to ask him and see if big money Salvia has affected my life a decade ago. I did Oxy once, I fucked my back and my face went numb from it, but hey, at least my back stopped hurting while the high lasted. That's cool. Nice. People don't like themselves too much. People who like themselves too much didn't eat blue curry.
Some of them are misogynists and some of them are really racist.
There was a line in this that I was a little bit unhappy with, where there was one take of this where I said, and some of them are really unreasonably racist, and that line was like, what does that mean? And then I go back and correct myself with more than the normal amount of racism. I thought that was semi-funny, but I played it to some people and they were like, it's not that funny. It's only funny if you're white. And I was like, fair enough.
Could be one of these bloodlines in this sort of elite.
Oh, it's the Rothschilds. Oh, incidentally, Internet Common Etiquette did a video about flat earthers, and this guy Wacky, I think he calls him, is in their video. So I was like, I could put them in. It's like a little connection. Is it? Unreasonably racist implies that there is a reasonably racist. Exactly, yeah. I'd accidentally said that, and I was very quickly more than the normal. It doesn't scan as a joke really. So I took it out. So no, I did another take, but I kind of wanted to see if I could salvage that take, but it's a joke that only works to people who don't have to experience racism, so, I'm not going to put that in the video.
Okay, that's normal.
And some of them are vegan neo-Nazis.
You can tell that in that shirt, in the middle of winter in a garage, I'm fucking freezing. Like, the layers had successfully, and like, having just come in from somewhere warm, had protected me somewhat, and then when I changed over into the lunar module shirt, you can tell from my face that I'm fucking freezing. I have to not breathe too hard in these bits, because you can see the steam coming out of me. It's...
See, rappers, but... I'm sure every movement has its share of problematic people who embarrass everyone else and who they wish would go away. I can't think of any left-wing YouTubers who are like that. Oh, it's me, isn't it?
I did a lot of different takes where I said different YouTubers and made up different fake scandals. I claimed that 3 Arrows had murdered a man in 1992. I claimed that Sean smelled of cabbage. I made up some other ones, and then in the end I was like, I'll have to use me. I can't use one of someone else. I can't wait for the summer so you don't die in your fucking garage, dude. Yeah, I can't wait either. It'd be awesome. I should get someone to help film in my garage so they can experience it too. I should get Simon back. Just joined as a backer. Use my money to buy a heater. Quiet Siren, thank you. The heater that I used to have in there broke because it was so cold it damaged the internal parts. I now have a second heater that I bring in when I'm not filming in there, and it's better. And it warms the spot that I intend to film, and it would fuse the lights if I use the lights at the same time because the lights draw a lot of power as well. So I heat up the whole room and then turn it off and put it down and then film, and it's warm just enough that I can do the whole thing. So yeah, the YouTube conspiracy one. Oh,
fencing with the really sort of weird elements of the movement. The question still remains, why do people think the earth is flat if the evidence is so bad? Frankly, I'm not very good at figuring out why other people do things. I just do what Sobek commands me, and in return he ensures that my harvest is bountiful and my sperm is never ending. So we're going to have to turn...
coming up, there's the old part where I shut the door. I was originally going to edit it so there was fire outside my door and screams coming out, and then you close it. But then the joke I make about vaccinations, just enough people said, hey, that joke is a little bit... that was like, I don't want to risk causing harm with my jokes. I don't want to risk making that implication. And I know there's some people out there who like, specifically, I've got a lot of comments about ableism, which is something that it's one of those things where like, I know I am casually ableist in ways I don't like being. So if I can at least edit out times I've done it, then good. So I took that to heart. But so that bit's gone. So instead, it just goes directly to the conclusion, which I think is better anyway, and is sort of tighter. So you'll see.
To an outside source to do all of this.
Also, I think I put another thing back in the Philosophy Tube cameo, but I'm not sure if I put that in before the backer version as well. Anyway,
thinking stuff. Let's find out what popular talkie.
I pronounce stuff. Stuff. Stuff is one of the few words where my original Yorkshire accent still shows after all these years of being on the internet and trying to sound British to be cool to Americans.
Thinky man Philosophy Tube has to say for himself, shall we?
I love that cut. I probably should put his name up there because I do pronounce his name so weird. But I also can't be bothered.
Sophie Tube has to say for himself, shall we?
I love this cut. Where you can tell through my earphones, I'm listening to them on the earphones. I thought that was I was really happy with that cut. I'm sorry. I'm so manic.
Hey Ollie, I was just wondering, what do philosophers think of people who think the earth is
I could put music or sound in here, but
I'll just reference...
I could use the Bloodborne soundtrack in there. Ooh. Yeah, Kalinas, please message me about ableism stuff, because I'd love to be better at that in the future, so please let me know. I want to work on that more, so please do that. Yeah, I'm gonna put some Bloodborne soundtrack in there when it reveals his face, because there's a really good part of this exact song. Is it good with no sound? Do you think silence is... Damn it! Well, I'll do a before and after before we finish the stream, so that we can figure it out.
It's the video you made a year ago. It's fine.
Can't believe I didn't think about this initially.
Mr. Mark Sargent.
So, I just go in, I don't even say conclusion because, of course, the joke with chat with not knowing numbers is gone. So it's better. Could you use the same backwards noise effect he has during then? Ooh. I could.
For the rest of the scientific community, I come bearing a message. I like science. I always have.
I took the music out when I started talking as well.
I flew here on the back of science.
Oh, you flew here, did you? I wonder what model of the Earth the pilot used. No, don't. The sound mix has been really good, and I thought it was really poor, and I hadn't checked it properly. But then I'm listening to the render, and it sounds fine. This is pretty cool. Don't. Sorry. I promised myself I wouldn't be rude to these people. Stop it. Carry on. Stop it.
You've taken what should have been simple observations and twisted them to suit your needs and make us feel small. We're not small, and we're not an accident. In fact, we are the new scientists.
No, Mark, don't say that. I promised I wouldn't. You can't. Oh, fuck.
There's a new science in town, baby, and an inordinate amount of it is based on what logo the UN uses.
Okay, so I deliberately avoided bringing up Mark Sargent's videos too much because they're not very good. I don't want to make flat earthers just look bad by pointing out how absolutely ridiculous the videos that got them into it are, and I just don't want to be mean to someone just because they're ignorant and wrong. But you know what? Fuck him. It's 8:50 p.m. on Christmas Eve. He just said he's the new fucking science. This is my present to myself. I'm gonna fucking dunk on Mark Sargent for being obviously wrong. You know that whole logistics thing I pointed out earlier? Here's how he brings it up and debunks it.
Now this is where you come in and say, well, it's probably an isolated incident or some strange connection thing. You know how the airlines are. Oh,
wait, is that a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged impression? Is that how that sounds? Wow. I should do that more often. I didn't realize that was what I was referencing. I really need a wee. Maybe it's the 2 liters of water I've drunk over the course of the stream. I'll be right back. Bip. I just realised my toilet isn't an Armitage Shanks. 2 whole meters of water. You meanie. Oh. Okay. Let's go!
No, my friends.
No. Mark Sargent's video... The impact of this joke is lost on me now because I've watched it so many times, but oh boy, I hope this still lands for people. He doesn't even acknowledge the existence of non-stop flights. In fact, he says they don't exist.
The first part of the...
Oh, one quick thing with this is, this non-stop flight thing now happens way after the flights thing, so it coming back might be a thing. I don't know anymore. Zoeblade, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh my god, I love you. Thank you so much for making the intro music. It was great. This was a video I was going to get to you and be like, hey, do you want to do like the music for it or something? I can pay you to do it. But then like it got to really close to the end of the month. And I thought, well, I've just got to rush this out and finish it and not. I didn't want to give it to you and be like, now you have a week to make. That's just, you know, I want to have like 2 weeks at least so that I don't rush the music part. But welcome, thank you.
Is the utter lack of non-stop flights from anywhere in this hemisphere. Flying from international cities like Sydney, Rio, Santiago, or anywhere else close by, you can't get a single non-stop flight, no matter how much money you pay.
So now it becomes clear why so much of Flat Earth is pointless fluff or speculation about all the people who must be in on it. They have to avoid making quantifiable claims because otherwise, when you put it in terms that can be proven or disproven, there's a chance your actual reasons for believing what you believe can be openly demonstrated to be wrong. The Earth can't be a globe because there's no non-stop flights across countries in the southern hemisphere. Oh wait, someone googled it and it turns out there are? Fucking oops! I meant to say a bunch of weird waffle about how we don't really know what gravity is, so let's ramble about that instead.
What is gravity?
My worldview feels so much...
Oh, I took out the West Wing part here because of the other stuff. Hello, Peter. Hi. Oh my god, all the cool people have joined. Everyone, people who are like... no offense to the people who are here the whole time. But it's like, people who I know from the internet are watching this... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Much more safe when I'm talking absolute fucking nonsense. Has everyone seen The Truman Show?
Oh, and while we're at it, Mark, it's not cute that you fucking hold your microphone on all of your podcasts like this. It makes for terrible audio. Only 10% of the population lives in the southern hemisphere. Sorry, John. It's really... And here you're fumbling with it constantly. Just put it on a stand. The person you've been streaming with for like years has a...
Hello and welcome to my Flat Earth podcast. Are you
Flat Earth, another hot potato. Sorry, I'll stop that. Why have you not copied her thing? Just use a stand. Also, it's very clear you were wearing a clip-on mic when you came out to do this speech, and I guess you've... This is my own personal mini conspiracy that Mark Sargent does not know how microphones work. Fucked it up because the audio didn't work.
Okay. This pickup? I'll do this just in case.
So you decided you had to use the onboard mics, and then you weren't even using them right, so a guy had to come and correct you.
Oh, we're gonna do both. Sorry about that.
Why do you have so many problems with microphones? If you just Googled how to do sound, your videos would have been like... Oh, I left in like a little shortcut to me watching this on my laptop, just so it's a bit more, it flows better. 30% more bearable!
Whose video was that with the moon and the clouds?
Yeah, and I don't even think that was the moon.
I felt kind of bad. This feels like it's a bit out of context. It's like, oh, here's a mistake you made. But it flows into it, and this new cut kind of acknowledges that it's a bit of work. That it's, a bit of a stretch.
Ooh, that looked like the sun.
Oh, that's a Blue Ladybird. That's a good mic. I almost got one of those. But the Caddy 100S, this baby is like... It's just good enough that no microphone that isn't really expensive is an upgrade from it. So... This is my forever microphone. Oh. God, why are you so bad at everything, Mark? You're not even a good flat earther. I have to talk around you or it makes me look like I'm trying to make you people look stupid. And do you think you're the fucking scientist? Fucking Jesus Christ! I think this works as a good condemnation of the previous thing in case that bit was too much for people. I think what really gets me... Really happy with that shot. In his video, Flat Earth or Why Do People Reject Science, philosopher Oliver Thorne says that flat earthers don't actually reject science. See, he's been very clever with his title. He's a clever boy. Check his videos out. But they're actually embracing an alternative viewpoint on science, which he compares to direct realism. He's right. These people are attempting a form of science. I think I cut this down a little bit. I also want to see if the credits work here. And I think that's what really gets to me about them. Not simply that they're pretending they're scientists who've secretly found the truth. Those people are There's a very weird noise there for a second. It sounds almost like a muted, like a sound turned down lyric. But what it actually is my tummy rumbling because I was really hungry when I shot this. I had to redo a take because my stomach went in the middle of it. Dime a dozen. Saying that science is good and you know it and you're the genius and everyone else is wrong is basically what being a YouTuber is. People like Mark are right to want to... I originally was I'm gonna have pictures of the Jordan Peterson stuff and of other stuff come up here to like make my point, but I think it works better with me just straight saying it. And then that way no one can come after me for like that. Or think like, oh, does that mean Jordan Peterson videos next? It's better just leave it, I think. Go clean. Question authorities on issues. They're right to want to question everything they know about reality and the society they live in. And that's because at the centre of Flat Earth, not the North Pole, the actual centre of the ideology, its core is a tiny, shining fragment of a systemic critique.
it's the beginnings of trying to understand what's wrong with our society.
I filmed this bit last, and this was after I got the heater, so my face is a bit less red in this shot, just so that, you know, behind the scenes, I wasn't freezing to death anymore.
And what to do about it. You know, flat earthers and people like them who embrace alternative solutions, like eating raw meat. In fact, Jake the asshole, flat earth boy, yell at people, man, eats raw meat a bunch. It's disgusting. I almost threw up watching one of his videos. You know, people seek these solutions because they perceive on some level a problem. And they're right. Something is wrong with...
That was a gurgle. You all heard it. Now you know what that is.
...the world right now. The world is figuratively on fire. World leaders are asleep at the wheel. There's nothing in place to prevent another massive financial crash which will destroy thousands, if not millions, of livelihoods. And ecologically speaking, on top of being, you know, figuratively on fire, the Earth is literally on fire. Wildfires are getting worse. Temperatures are shifting all over the place. Ice is melting at an astounding rate. Even on a globe Earth, the edge is coming fast. So I can't blame anyone for feeling alienated and lonely.
I liked that joke as well with the edge. I was really happy with that joke. That's been in every version of the script. I heard that and was like, ooh, yeah, I should make a whole video about flat earthers now. And that was the impetus for the video. No, I'm just kidding, but it almost was.
About living in, you know, late capitalist society. You know, at least under feudalism we had job security.
That's a very Zizek move, very like... I did that because, again, I was starting to get cold. You can see, like, this is a later take where it's starting to get a bit red because the heater's been off for a while. And I did, like... When I get cold, this bit gets itchy, and it gets red when I itch it. So, I just went like that, and it's very... I look like... I do have the makings of a continental philosopher, I think. I've got the frame for it. I can very easily get bloated and lose all my hair. So it's perfect, really.
Late capitalist society. You know, at least under feudalism we had job security. So of course people are going to try and find something that helps them cope or seems like a solution. I mean...
Peter, I'm glad you thought about Zizek too. I'm glad that the thing fits. And also the black t-shirt fits with it too. Anyway.
That's why you get cults. That's why you get Scientology. That's why you get Jordan Peterson supporters. You know, something is wrong.
By the way, I constantly look out of frame. I do this when I'm ad-libbing, when I'm thinking. I kind of talk to myself. I'm kind of just like staring at nothing. But I look in the same direction just enough that it looks like I'm looking at something, possibly a script or notes. And that annoys me because I wasn't. And if I'd had some, it would have been better. But I don't have a prompter. I just memorize each bit of the script as I go. Or I ad-lib, and then annoyingly when I ad-lib I look away from the camera more, but yeah.
And we can all tell, and some people have arrived at a solution that doesn't really work, or at the very least makes them feel a little bit better. Some people feel really good, like they're really owning the Marxists by not eating their vegetables until they get scurvy. And then that's where the problems begin, isn't it? Because believing these things isn't a solution, and it's not really accurate about what the problems are. The problem isn't NASA, the problem isn't the Earth.
I can't remember if I took out the part about Rosa Luxemburg, but I think I did just to cut this down a little bit and be a bit less. Some people said, just enough people said this is a little bit preachy, just trying to convert people to Marxism, and I thought, well, I'll take out a little bit and hopefully that makes it better. A lot of people said, no, it's not, it's fine, but like, I thought, well, if I shorten it a bit, then maybe that's a good happy middle, so yeah.
Being flat, the problem is something else. If you're a flat earther and you made it all the way to the end of the...
Also, bringing up Engels and Luxemburg suddenly is a bit of a... like a... whoop! Now it's definitely for the left-wing people, but having it just be like a... oh, maybe just keep... I think it works better. It's like a Jedi mind trick, only not really a trick, you know, I'm just genuinely espousing directly my beliefs because I feel like that's more honest, but there we go.
This video... wow! This video was way too long. But I watched fucking dozens of hours of your documentaries, so I guess you owe me. But if I can give
You can tell I'm starting to get cold there.
Little word of advice. You're right to feel that something is wrong. Because something is wrong. Just maybe keep looking for the source of what that thing is, because the Earth is not flat. The Earth It's an oblate spheroid. I heard one guy say oblate once, and that was it. Now I say it every time. Just keep looking. Keep trying to figure out a solution. And maybe next Christmas, Mark Sargent will be Mark's Sargent. It's a good one. Oh god, my hair looks awful. And
I came up with that while I was putting the jumper on, so I was pretty happy with that. Also, new joke here, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us here at shrekfandom.biz/church. I'm pretty happy with that joke.
see you all next year.
No one buy that website, by the way. I should probably buy that before anyone else does, just so it doesn't, go anywhere. Just so no one gets that, and then everyone gets a virus or something.
I'm gonna do more videos next year, I promise. And I'm gonna do that charity stream soon. I'm gonna play Donkey Kong 64 all the way through until I fucking die.
That's you now.
I'll raise money for a charity. I forgot which one it is. And I don't want to do another take because it's bloody freezing in here. I put this on for a reason. This used to light up.
Oh, Eric, this song is such a fucking banger. Oh god, I work with too many musical geniuses. It's all my whole life I've worked with people who know music better than me. A bunch of my friends are audio engineers. Chris and Max made a lot of music for me early on, and like Eric and Zoe, you're wonderful and great people, and this amazing music that I was just allowed to use because you like my stuff, and the amount of people who've supported me even now is like, it makes me want to cry. Like it's amazing. Thank you all, genuinely. Let's hear Eric's music,
but it doesn't.
Hey, like an unladen swallow starts a fist fight. Your right to property is antithetical to Christ. Hey, the time is right, so
great line.
Something to prove. So a fucking yellow and black triangle flag on your verse. I'd like to make a living kissing handicap. See, I'm an animator that was main picture of Batman. The arrow logic, addendum, admonished, anonymous, a topic, a market, and some fluffy handcuffs.
It's back. Ah. Yeah, Eric's music is good, and there's so much of it. Why has he got so much bloody music? Eric, stop. What song is this? This is the song Kissing Ancaps by Eric Taxon. It's great. God, this was shot on an Ursa Mini, and you can tell because you can see the nose hairs coming out. But I sold that camera. I bought it and was like, I spent way too much money on a camera. This should go towards something useful and good. So I sold it, and instead we'll hire animators and stuff. But like, that was me being like, I'm gonna do full production. It's like, no, don't. Just get a camera that works. Just don't. No. Yeah. Anyway, God, that ending. I think that I was worried the credits would go by too fast, but they seemed just right. So that's cool. Yeah, Jen and Comment Etiquette both contributed audio that ended up not being used. But I will make a bonus video with all the cut stuff that's done, and also all the stuff that was cut even earlier before the back version. So, was that the Blackmagic? Yeah, that was the Blackmagic. I have a micro cinema camera which I use as a webcam, although not right now because this was more convenient. But most of my videos are shot with a Canon C100, and I used to have an Ursa Mini, but it was a bit too much extra work. And it costed more. It's not worth it. So the C100 is a really good. You can get some of them are ancient now, and so you can get them at a really reduced cost on eBay, and they're really worth it. They're still like the best cameras around, I think, in my opinion. Oh yeah, Null Pomino. He wants to play Tetris.
Which one it is? And I don't want to do another take because it's bloody freezing in here. I put this on for a reason.
It's bloody freezing. Yeah. So, did you cut out the TV trips? Yes, I did. Oh, I should just make that a short clip, just the Night in the Woods one. I should make that the trailer for the Night in the Woods one.
Yeah. This used to light up.
I'm just going to check to see if the font is big. And also this way I get to listen to this part again.
But
weren't you using a GH5 recently? I remember you complaining about it. Yes, I do have a GH5. I own too many cameras. That's like, if I don't spend the money that I make from videos on things that theoretically help the videos, I feel bad. So, yes.
It doesn't.
Hey, like an unladen swallow starts a fist fight. Your right to property is antithetical to Christ. Hey, the time is right.
I hope CJ sees that I had to fit the whole thing across the bottom because they filled up the text thing with the word hot boy.
If you got something to prove, so a fucking yellow and black triangle flag on your verse. I'd like to make a living kissing and can't see. I'm an animator and this big picture of Batman. The hammer will launch you dead and admonished anonymous. A topic, a market, and some fluffy handcuffs.
Yeah, that works. I think that's a good ending, just having that come up again as a sweet, full circle thing for this year. All 2 videos I made this year. But yeah. Oh, it was alright. So, let's quickly do a test of my idea for a thing. I can delete that. I've made the ending now. Goodbye. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone, by the way. Hopefully this will go up New Year's Day or New Year's Eve night. Flat Earthers MR. This might crash the stream again. Oh, there's another pitch shifter somewhere I haven't got rid of. Oh well. Fuck it. It's too late now. Oh, Premiere crashed slightly. Okay, it's back. Let me quickly show you my work, what I did for this. This is an RGB curves that's been deliberately made weird and wrong to make it go woo, and then that's a lens distortion to turn live footage of Himawari 8, a satellite that takes things of the Earth, that just distort that to cover the whole thing. I just thought that looked quite nice. So yeah, this is my plan for the last bit. Yes, I can tell where in the timeline everything is by eye. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you the bit I'm thinking of using, because right before there's a bunch of chanting. You'll see where I'm going here. Okay, let's see if this works the way I think it will work.
I think the Earth is. I'll just reference the video you made a year ago. It's fine.
Because then I'm using the same audio clip that I was also using earlier, so I think that's a good use. But I don't think it's as good as I thought it would be.
I'll just reference the video you made a year ago. It's fine.
Also, I should probably have it fade out, at the very least. Let me open the comments. Never mind, that works. Oh. I think silence is funnier, yeah? Oh, some people saying it's perfect. I don't know anymore. There's the other way of doing it as well, which is like...
Hey Ollie, I was just wondering, what do philosophers think?
When it cuts to him, I have that. So then we have this happen in the background, like that. And then... yeah... You'll see. So now it's playing the background when I come in.
Hey Ollie, I was just wondering, what do philosophers think of people who think the Earth is I'll just reference the video you made a year ago. It's fine.
The silence is funnier. I've looked at it all the ways, and it's not. Yeah, let's go with this. Let's have a look. I love that part of the gas gun theme. It's
I was
so
just
good.
wondering, what do philosophers think of people who think the Earth is
GH5 footage doesn't play very well in Premiere.
I'll just reference the video you made a year ago. It's fine.
I might do like with that. No, it's funnier if it's just a brief clip where you can tell it's playing backwards. Yeah. Instead of making it quieter while talking, make it louder. Ah.
Mr. Mark.
I think it's good the way it is. How did Ollie do it? I don't remember how Ollie did it actually. Let's quickly check. This will probably crash the stream.
Which is what everyone was like.
By the way, I'm the one who shot this. I filmed this in slow motion at his house.
Same scale as.
I was just wondering, what do philosophers
He
think?
uses a different angle as well, which is pretty clever.
If people who think the Earth is I'll just reference the video you made a year ago. It's fine.
God. God. God, Ollie.
I could tell you that the Royals are expensive.
That was really good. Jesus. All right, I'm sorry. Let me yeah. You put the blood pump version at the end of the video. No, I can't just use old clips of the. I have a bunch of post stuff I could use, but I think it destroys the purity of just ending on this, just on like, just that again. You know, so I can either have that, which is an in joke for me that no one else gets, where I just keep cutting to this at the end of videos now, or I could make it actually good. The TV audio backwards is really funny as well, but like, I can't just put that in. That's his joke. Let's see where what I've got my outtakes. Oh look, I've got like an hour of outtakes regarding who can fly over them or not. Oh yeah, the cabotage rule. Well, I sang a rendition of Sabotage, but with cabotage, you know, because it's the kind of flight. Hold on. Be more out of the way. I think I better. I'm telling y'all about cabotage. Hope. I'm so glad I cut that out. Oh, what's this?
You know, it's funny. It reminds me of a time that I actually sat next to a flat earther on a plane. I made really good friends with her son, actually, because he had this Luigi amiibo he was playing with on the plane. And I had a giant Luigi doll with his head sticking out of my backpack. I saw it for like $2 in a charity shop in Australia. What was I going to do? Not drag it thousands of miles back to my house? Anyway, I found out she was a flat earther because right towards the end of as the plane was touching down, she was like, you know, the Earth's flat, and also a bunch of other like dark shit. I actually tweeted about all this.
I was going to get someone I knew to do a reading of me, where they did an impression of me, but their Twitter broke or something, so it didn't.
And famous YouTube man, internet comment etiquette, gave this funny reply.
Should have given her the window seat.
Now this is funny to me because I had actually swapped seats
it's
with
just slowly zooming in on Luigi.
Son, because the aisle seats screen in the back didn't work, and I wouldn't watch Avengers Infinity War again if my life depended on it. But even if she had the window seat and looked out for hours, you can't see the curvature of the Earth from this height. You just can't. So good joke, comment etiquette. But I've spent months of my life ruminating on how technically what you said was wrong, like a normal person would do.
So yeah, that's a thing I cut out for good reasons.
There's also some people out there who use the Bible as an argument that the Earth is flat, or otherwise see the Earth being flat as just a natural expression of their religious beliefs. And I pride myself on being the first YouTuber who didn't start their channel just to be a shithead about other people's religions. So instead I'll just mention that the evidence points to the fact that if God did make the Earth, which he didn't, Sobek did, he created it as a sphere. And I'm sorry if you think the Bible says otherwise. But it can't say that because the Bible is the divine word of God and probably isn't full of lies to trick you, although that would be an interesting holy book, wouldn't it? If it opened with a passage that was obviously a lie and then you had to like use your interpretive abilities to derive truth from it. Like that would be really interesting. Someone should write a holy book that contains falsehoods so that people have to use critical thinking to figure it out for themselves. I'm going to write this down.
So that's the thing I recorded yesterday and thought I could put this in, but that's another full minute of just rambling in a video that's already typified by that. So, yeah. What else have I got in here?
It's trying to say.
Oh, that's a bunch of stuff I cut.
Just the.
A bunch of stuff I cut.
Fuck. That was.
Is this that?
A clip from.
That bit. That bit.
ERT was.
This bit.
Not in this one.
This bit.
Groups like this.
Oh yeah, this. Yep. Oh yeah, this is all the stuff I reasonably cut, which makes sense to cut. I might put in just a bit with my phone conversation at the end. I think that's quite funny.
Minds. Some of them are misogynists, and some of them are really racist.
An unreasonable amount of racism. What the fuck was I thinking? Well, I guess I was ad-libbing, so. Oh yeah, I was gonna edit this. Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful website easily.
Okay, so this bit, and then there's that. There we go. Now here we go. Check out my genius move here. Watch this.
Would you like?
Okay, so
like?
There we go. That, and then.
To build a beautiful website easily? Good, so would I.
It's so subtle. You can barely see that. That's great. I might actually have to make it a little bit more. Hold on. Maybe like that much more? Yeah, it's a little bit.
Good, so would I.
No, that's really good. Thank you for suggesting that, Bat. Yeah, there's other videos for that, yeah. Give out 2 frames more, yeah, thank you. It's fun when you see someone's advice in the chat and it catches up with you, and you're like, yes! I was going through all the messages today and, like, making changes as I saw it, and people were like... Sometimes you get to a message that's full of really good advice that you've already implemented, and you're like, wow, my patrons are way smarter than me. Okay.
Would you like to build a beautiful website easily? Good, so would I.
No.
Yeah, it's perfect. The timing is way better now, thank you. It's a little bit, comes up really late, but ooh, stretching it, that makes it a little bit more obvious what the joke is. Because, let's just see this version.
Would you like to build a beautiful website easily? Good, so would I.
No, that makes it better, because I retimed it, so it's coming...
Good, so would I. Good, so...
That's really good. Oh, it's perfect. Thank you for the advice. It's excellent.
No.
I almost put in a screen fuzz thing there. It went, but it's a quick enough cut that it didn't really need it. So, what star color would you prefer? My favorite star is blue. My favorite color is blue, I think. If that makes sense. I was really happy with that joke when I came up with it.
Very least.
Okay. What else?
Make of their findings. See you in hell, you little lie ball. Nah! Oh fuck! Oh, Jesus!
Cool, yeah. Where are you? Up is not jump. I forget. It's like 20 minutes. Like, the conclusion for this video is most of the video.
Excuse me.
By the way, just so you know, this is my footage without the adjustment layer on. Watch. Look at that. Look how awful that is. Oh, magic. Just kidding. That part was well lit, but the rest of the video needs adjustment layers all the time because it's awful. Please tell me you're keeping that rap number. Yes.
Moon.
So this is just a bit I think it's quite funny. I'm just going to put it in maybe.
Excuse me. Can moonlight make things cold? I feel like I'm actually being rude to a person by doing this. I'm really sorry.
And then maybe at the very end, we put in the... Oh, I fucked it up. Hold on. Well, I find my own thing again. In the cameo, where's the cameo bit? I'm sure I made a separate video, a separate folder that's just the cameo. I'm sure there's just a clip of me bursting back through the door. This hasn't cracked the stream because Premiere likes to be a lot, but what have we got? There's one where I burst back in at the end. That's me. What's that? god, look at that. That's like the Virgin H-bomb. The Chad circumference.
That mic is amazing.
Oh. Thank you to Kafka for helping shoot this, by the way. 50. And then let's just go beep beep. I think that's good. That's good. Yeah. I maybe should have it cut just a little bit earlier. Like, maybe that much is better. Let's see how much better that is. Yeah, I think it's better with that. Yeah. There we go. And here's what we're gonna do. I have an explosion sound effect that I use in something, somewhere in the thing. Are we in sequence 4? Nope, that's the thing I made for the guy. Fat Does Not Jump, whose name I'm bad at remembering. Nope. Is it in Cameo? I made a Cameo project, but nope. Oh, where are you, project files? I made a folder for project files and still managed to lose all my project files. Oh dear. Putting someone on a phone saying you're being more rude, pretending you're not talking to someone. Ah, that's a good idea. But it's too late. Too much effort. Basically, I want an explosion sound effect. But Premiere is currently fucked, so when you type in the name of a file, it will just not show it sometimes, so I have to re-find my favorite explosion sound effects now. Every time. What a bad website. I mean, video. I mean, program. One of those things. Where are you, explosion sound effect? I know you're in here. Oops! Yeah, we go. There. Done. There. Found it. My favorite explosion sound effect. Bang. It's like the end of the trailer now. The explosion, I think, ties it in. It really ties the room together. I've been really enjoying Orange recently. Don't know why. Orange Kun. Not Minion Pro. It's Lato Heavy. Yeah, baby. Look at that. It's a strong font. And then D, done. That's perfect.
Excuse me. Can moonlight make things cold?
I'll put the whole thing in there, actually. I think that's... Wait, do I do the thing? No, I don't. I look at my script, okay.
Excuse me. Can moonlight make things cold? I feel like I'm actually being rude to a person by doing this. I'm really sorry.
That's like a screamer. That's awful. What a great ending. I'm really happy with that now. I'm also a really big fan of, from all of us here at shrekfandom.biz/church, but...
Maybe next Christmas.
There we go. I think we have ourselves a finished video. What do you all think? And now I'll wait 10 minutes for the for the video stream to catch up. Oh baby. Hit Control M. Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I said I would do? Is there anything else missing? What do you think? What do you all think? Just any last comments? Thank you all for watching this, by the way. It's been really fun. I think you left it. Don't forget the little empty space you left. What? Empty space? Oh, that empty space? I left that on purpose. It's a nice little... I think I might actually... In the original weird trailer, I put this in afterwards. No, it's better at the end. It only works as a joke if it's right at the end. Good job, well done. Yeah, I've got to get sleep. Gonna squat the Earl for some alt-right propaganda. Yeah, that's my one fear. But also, if they're gonna fight that hard for it at that point, they should just get it. So here we are. Old. Put that in old, and then final upload. Flat Earth has a message response. .mp4 is go, and I need to come up with a thumbnail for it. Oh, baby. Q. It only had the same ending shot you did, but it still works. Yeah, it's true, but it's very funny. It's a very funny ending shot. That's a good point. I should have a different ending shot. Do you save your streams somewhere? Oh, yeah. I try and... because my streams usually crash anyway, I like to edit and re-upload the streams as an unlisted video for patrons. So don't worry. That'll be happening soon. Yeah. This has been fun. It's lasted a lot longer than I thought it would be, but this is cool. Establishes the shared universe. That's right, yeah, it does. It makes it work better as a thing. Me and Ollie and Bad Mouse are doing a thing at Imperial College London in late January, so that'd be cool. We're doing a talk. I'm going to film it and record it as well, just for other people to see. So now we can see the processing software crash and encrypt the file in real time. Oh no, I'm not going to hit go on this while the stream is going. That will definitely break everything. So instead, I will say, this has been lovely. Thank you all for hanging out in the chat and helping to fix my video. It's been lovely. It's been great. So now I'm going to figure out when the premiere is going to happen and make a thumbnail and come up with stuff like that. So, whoosh, take care of y'all. I might have my last Vermeer and Speculou. Do some subtweeting. Checking on some projects for my thing, and thank you again for just backing me and all this stuff. Is it possible to attend the Imperial College thing? I think it's just for people who are going to that college, but it's time for me to work on more videos, and there's another thing I said I was going to do. That's it. I'm updating the Patreon stuff so that it's becoming more clear what I'm doing and where and what the goals are, because I need to move things around. So yeah, we're gonna figure that out. So I love you all very much, and it's bloody fantastic doing this for a living, and I do it thanks to you. So yeah, this is the best job in the world, and I do it because of your support, and genuinely it's thank you so much, and I'll see you all soon. I'm back at it again. On Tuesday I'll be streaming back to our regularly scheduled streams, so please check me out on Twitch. We can just hang out, be all cash, and yeah, I'm going to look up thermal clothes so I don't freeze to death in my garage making content. And until next time, have a nice night. I smell pretty good. I just got out of the shower. And on that note, bleh. Yeah, soundboard. Bye. Bleh, 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 bleh.